Today's Reddit story comes from the subreddit Tales from Your Server, and it's titled Wedding Guests So Bad, Bride and Groom Asked Them to Leave Reception. Bear with me. This happened almost 3 months ago, and some details might be foggy and forgotten since then. I'll try to recount the event as best as I can. I work in catering, and at an event back around Father's Day weekend, there was a wedding that was possibly the group's worst encounter with the guests. The evening started off rough with the wedding coordinator rearranged the table so all the tables, numbers, and guests were off sync with the paperwork we had. When it came to serve dinner, we were all confused on where to go and who to serve. Tables were getting half served and mixed meals. Not a huge problem and fixable, but that was just a precursor to what was to come. During dinner, there was this one guest who stopped one of my coworkers and wanted to exchange their meal. Even though they already started eating, they had a fillet cooked at a medium. Not a problem. We change meals whenever we need to. They start eating the second meal. They wanted the same thing. They stopped the same coworker and asked to take it away, and they started eating off of their husband's plate instead. After dinner and some cleanup, that guest, who we found out was the bride's aunt, decided to eat off the maid of honor's dinner plate while she was off dancing. One coworker, the same one she stopped before, told her not to eat that food, especially because she wasn't given permission to eat it. Everything was quiet until we put out a late-night station, soft pretzels with dipping sauce. As we were waiting for the pretzels to heat up, we put the dipping sauce out on the table so everyone knew more food was coming, and the aunt comes up to the station with her daughter and starts to put the dipping sauce straight onto plates. Problem was, we didn't even put out spoons. They were using their fingers and hands to put the sauce onto the plate. 3 different coworkers, including the manager of the event, saw the 2 ladies do this, in which the 2 declined that they did it. We had no choice but to throw all those sauces away. The aunt went to one of the coworkers, who is one of the nicest people I work with, and starts getting in her face and starts calling her a liar and a drunk. And it got to a point where that coworker wanted to call the police on the aunt. When we thought it was over, the aunt comes to the back of the house asking for the manager. The manager comes out and the aunt starts getting in the manager's face, asking for names of people. We were all wearing name tags, and starts calling the manager a drunk and liar, even though there were multiple people who saw her do this. The aunt said things like, "Let me see it on camera. I'm going to leave a bad review on Yelp, and I worked this hotel in Chicago." While this was going on, I was standing as my manager's impromptu bodyguard. As a result of that, she was cut off from the bar, and the bride and groom were told about that incident. The couple decided to have the 2 ladies leave their wedding and escorted them out of the wedding venue. The bride and groom were firmly on our side with everything that happened. To top the night off, at some point while everyone was dancing, the DJ was getting a drink from the bar, and a different guest decided to go behind the DJ booth and change the entire wedding playlist. The DJ saw and yelled so loud at the guests it was heard over the music. Shortly after, that guest left. It was one, if not the worst experience I had with a guest at a wedding, and my first experience with a Karen, and honestly, it kind of lived up to the hype. Lol. Let's see what the commenters have to say. First comment says, "Lol, what a crap night. Good that the couple were on your side. The first wedding I ran, the entire reception, and I mean every single one of the 40 people there, got into a full-on brawl within half an hour of arrival. Took a while for the bride and groom to calm down, but when they did, they basically cut the whole thing short and told everyone to leave. Weddings are wild times, man. I've done some really wonderful ones that made me really enjoy serving, but the ones that go wrong go real wrong." Another comment says, "This reminds me of a wedding where the photographer that the groom hired just so happens to be his ex-girlfriend, who had also slept with one of the groomsmen, and the groomsman's girlfriend was the maid of honor. It was all held together until they brought out the game Twister, and we're not sure who swung first. The OP responds, I think we need a full story of that. Lol. I want to know that full story too. Maybe it's posted on Reddit somewhere? The OP does provide a small update. It says, hello everyone. Thank you so much for checking out my story, and it was also fun to read some of your stories in the comments as well. Here is a small update. I remember putting in the story about the ant saying, I'm going to write a bad review on Yelp. I thought about that the other day and decided to make a Yelp account just to see if there was a review on either the company I work for or the venue where the reception was held. Long story short, there is no review from that day on either the company or the venue. I think one of two things happened. One, she came to her senses and agreed she was in the wrong. Or two, she was out of it that night that she forgot she said it. My guess is the latter. Another commenter said, do you by chance remember the hotel she works at? The OP responds, I do remember the hotel, but it's not my place to say the hotel name. She was a pain that day, but I do respect privacy. Good for you, OP. I love hearing about different wedding stories, whether they're good or bad. Well, especially the bad and very eventful ones. There's something about weddings that make people act differently. Sometimes it brings out the worst in people and the entitlement shows up for whatever reason. But sometimes it's just crazy, drama-filled stuff. And I am there with popcorn and just watching the whole thing. As long as I'm not involved, I'm okay with that. Do you guys have any crazy wedding stories that you guys have seen or heard? I would love to hear about it in the comments section. And if you guys like these types of stories, remember to continue to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.